Is Khidr still alive? A servant of Allah, given knowledge beyond time.
Khidr, peace be upon him, remains one of the most mysterious figures in Islamic tradition. A servant of Allah granted special knowledge and wisdom. Khidr's knowledge, therefore, is not merely earthly learning. It is a divine wisdom that transcends the boundaries of time and space itself. Khidr's narrative teaches us that true wisdom often operates beyond our worldly perception. It is not about power.
And so we find in these very pages the timeless presence of Al-Khidr, whose wisdom, Khidr's actions are not driven by worldly ambition, but by divine wisdom. We must have patience.
Know that Ilm al-Ladunni is a divine secret, a knowledge granted by Allah Most High directly from His presence to the heart of His servant.
Khidr possesses a unique awareness, perceiving realities that remain hidden from ordinary human sight. Khidr's mission was never meant to be public. It has always been spiritual, subtle, and often unseen by the eyes of the world.
Khidr's wisdom was not his own acquisition, but a direct bestowal from Allah. Every action he took was mandated by divine decree.
The true nature of Khidr's mission lies hidden, guided by an unseen divine wisdom far beyond our worldly understanding.
According to the consensus of the scholars, Al-Khidr was not an ordinary human being. He was unique among creation. There is a recognized scholarly difference concerning Al-Khidr. The majority view holds that he was a prophet.
Khidr, peace be upon him, was assigned a very special duty, a unique divine responsibility directly from Allah. Khidr did not act according to the visible surface law, but rather by direct divine command.
We must remember that Khidr acted solely upon the direct command and revelation of Allah, transcending human law.
In Surah Al-Kahf, we encounter one of the most enigmatic figures in the Quranic narrative, Khidr.
Deliverance. After the miraculous parting of the sea and the drowning of Pharaoh, the nascent community faced new challenges.
Consider the vastness of the oceans. If they were ink, they would not suffice to write the words of Allah's limitless knowledge.
Musa believed he held the greatest knowledge, yet this was a moment of profound realization.
Allah corrected Musa simply to teach him humility. It was a lesson, not a punishment.
Allah informed the Prophet Musa that there was a servant among them who held a knowledge greater than his own.
This junction of the two seas, where different currents meet but do not merge, is a powerful symbol.
And so Musa embarked on his quest, traveling to the junction of the two seas, driven by an insatiable thirst for wisdom.
Patience is not merely the ability to wait, but how we behave while we are waiting. It is essential for the seeker of knowledge.
Even the prophets, peace be upon them, exemplified the utmost humility in their pursuit of knowledge.
The meeting of Musa and Khidr represents the convergence of two distinct forms of knowledge, the revealed law and the divine mysteries.
The realization dawned upon Musa that he was standing before one endowed with extraordinary spiritual insight.
The recognition between Khidr and Musa, Sepra, transcends physical interaction. It is a form of divine.
And so, with immense humility, Musa approached him, requesting to accompany him on his journey, that he might learn from his wisdom. He emphasized the need for patience, warning that he could only accompany him if he restrained himself from questioning what he saw.
Thus, Khidr issued his decree: if you follow me, you must not ask me about anything until I myself mention it to you.
And Musa, peace be upon him, was being taught patience. He had to observe without immediate judgment.
In matters of faith, we must remember the inherent limits of human judgment. Our perception is finite.
True wisdom operates beyond the confines of what we perceive. What seems chaotic to us is often part of a divine.
The shared journey of Musa and Khidr begins now. A profound lesson in patience and divine wisdom unfolds before them. This simple vessel represented everything to them. It was their livelihood, a fragile gift entrusted to them by divine providence. He proceeded to scuttle the ship. an action that seemed destructive, yet was an act of divine mercy in disguise. How could he react otherwise? Musa was known for his fiery nature when faced with apparent wrongdoing. His shock was immediate and profound.
Musa perceived this as an injustice because he judged by the outward appearance of the law, while the wisdom behind it remained hidden from him.
We must ask ourselves, how can we justify this harm? How can it be considered morally acceptable?
And this is where Khidr gently reminded him of their agreement, saying,
Did I not tell you that you would not be able to have patience with me?
And so, Musa recognized his error and humbly sought forgiveness, renewing his covenant with patience.
But what we witnessed that day, an innocent boy standing alone against the wind, challenged everything we thought we knew about justice and compassion.
The human conscience, when truly awakened, cannot be silenced. This is why Musa, he realized that silence was no longer an option. His conscience, guided by faith, compelled him to speak.
This is the final warning. Spiritual discipline requires absolute patience. Deviation will lead you down a path from which there is no return. A boundary has been set. One more question, and this journey ends. We must not transgress this limit if we wish to continue. With renewed resolve, he pledged patience again, trusting in the wisdom beyond his sight. Musa was overwhelmed. The emotional burden of witnessing these events settled heavily upon him, a profound weight few could bear. And so, despite the tension and the trials we faced, the journey continued onward. In the classical era, the refusal of hospitality was seen as a grave moral failing. The denial of hospitality, as demonstrated here, represents a profound moral failure.
He rebuilt the wall with his own hands, demonstrating that true virtue lies in selfless action, hidden from the eyes of the world. Khidr sought no payment, demonstrating that the truest reward lies not in what we receive, but in the sincerity of our giving.
But if we apply human reasoning, Musa's confusion is understandable. Why shouldn't they receive payment for their labor?
The journey with Khidr concluded abruptly, teaching us that all companionships are temporary. But Musa, peace be upon him, could not help himself. He asked again, transgressing the boundary set by divine wisdom.
And so, Khidr departed not in anger, but with a profound, tranquil wisdom, demonstrating this.
In the end, Khidr fulfilled his promise, revealing the divine trust inherent in his actions.
Know that the explanation of this hidden wisdom is now beginning. Khidr himself will reveal the truth to you.
Sometimes what appears to be a misfortune is truly a blessing in disguise. The boat had to be damaged so it would be overlooked. This king was known for his cruelty, unjustly seizing every serviceable boat in the harbor, leaving the fishermen with nothing. We must remember that this boat was the property of poor fishermen, highlighting the social realities of this. And this is the core lesson of the story. Sometimes a superficial loss is necessary to prevent a greater one. We must realize that what appears to be harm is, in truth, an expression of profound mercy.
In Islamic teaching, the concept of hidden destiny teaches us that there is wisdom in all outcomes, even those we do not understand.
In His infinite wisdom, Allah sometimes reveals the unseen future to His favored servants.
And so you see, Allah, in His infinite mercy, protects the faith of the parents through their righteous deeds.
Indeed, Allah's mercy descends upon us to replace our sorrow with tranquility. It is His divine promise to the believers.
And thus, we find that Allah, in His boundless mercy, truly replaces our sorrow with enduring peace.
It was revealed that the wall belonged to 2 orphan children, highlighting our collective responsibility towards the most vulnerable among us.
And it is here, beneath this very wall, that the treasure was found.
This teaches us that the greatest treasure a father leaves is not wealth, but his righteousness, which guards his descendants. And so the treasure remained protected, awaiting the moment of its maturity, according to divine timing.
He showed me that this wall protected the vulnerable, revealing the hidden wisdom and the mercy behind the act. Khidr did nothing by personal desire. He acted only by divine command, showing us the path of perfect submission.
We must understand that each act, every moral teaching, is rooted in divine instruction. It is commanded by Allah. The lesson here is profound. Not everything that appears evil on the surface truly is evil in its essence.
True mercy is often concealed beneath the surface of hardship, much like the pearl hidden within the oyster.
What seemed to us as an injustice was, in fact, nothing less than divine protection, shielding us from a far greater unseen harm.
We must accept that our human intellect, vast as it may seem, is but a drop in the infinite ocean of divine knowledge. Consider the example of Khidr. He demonstrated that our knowledge compared to God's is merely a drop taken by a bird from the ocean.
Look at this vast sea. A bird takes but one drop. Such is the entirety of human knowledge compared to the divine.
The knowledge of Allah is like an endless ocean. What we perceive is merely a single drop.
True humility means recognizing the limits of our own understanding before the vastness of the divine. This story teaches us that wisdom is timeless. It is a light that guides humanity across generations.
In our tradition, we learn that what appears as harm may often conceal a profound good.
The wise person knows that even good deeds, if unchecked, can lead to unforeseen harm. Restraint is key.
Our perspective is often limited to what is immediately before us. But Allah's wisdom extends far.
Remember that true patience is seen in the face of adversity. It is this spiritual endurance, this
Quranic says, even when the road ahead is uncertain, we must place our trust completely in Allah's divine wisdom.
Understanding rarely arrives when we demand it. It is a guest that often arrives much later, after the journey is complete.
It is in the latter years that the tapestry of life begins to make sense. What seemed like misfortune in youth,
Right us. We must understand that pain is not merely suffering. In the divine plan, pain often sets.
And remember, the path ahead is illuminated by His light. We must trust His plan completely.
The journey has reached its end, yet the lesson remains etched in our hearts, guiding us still.
when life feels unfair, remember that Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear.
In our teachings, we learn that this life is but a partial glimpse. True wisdom lies in understanding the unseen.
We must exercise beautiful patience, letting go of our worldly attachments and trusting.
Every moment carries unseen wisdom.
We must trust that Allah's wisdom transcends our limited sight. Even when life feels unfair, His plan.
Be patient. Wisdom will follow.